तू ही ये मुझको बता दे, चाहूँ मैं आना, अपने तो दिल का बता दे, चाहूँ मैं आना. The voice is every singer's biggest asset, right? Who doesn't want to have a beautiful, melodious, resonant singing voice? It's every singer's dream, isn't it? So what do we need to do to actually get that amazing ringing voice? Are there any techniques or any habits that we can develop so that we can improve our voice in a very healthy and natural way? So let's talk about all this today, and I'm going to share with you some very simple tips and hacks that you can follow right away and see that visible improvement in your voice. I'm Pratibha Sarathy and you're watching VoxGuru's YouTube series. If you enjoy our videos, please do subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on our updates, and it'll also keep us really motivated to keep creating content for you. One of the first things you have to understand is the difference between your speaking voice and your singing voice. Both are not the same, right? Because while speaking, we are not thinking about how much pressure we apply on our throat, right? When we are talking with a lot of emotion, or sometimes, we are trying to talk loudly, we are trying to convey something very passionately, we don't even realize how much pressure we are putting on our throats and how much strain we are causing. Even right now, there is a lot of pressure that I'm applying on my throat. Now, if I use this same technique and try to sing with the same kind of pressure, it will sound like sa re ga ma pa. That does not sound pleasant, right? That sounds very harsh. So when we sing, we have to control the pressure that we apply to the throat, right? It has to be controlled and defined. Sa re ga ma pa. So there has to be a uniform pressure that we apply. So that is the first difference between your speaking and your singing voice. And the second thing you have to realize is, while speaking, we don't cover a very big vocal range, right? Even now when I'm talking to you, I'm pretty much in my lower and mid ranges. But when we start singing, we are covering a much bigger vocal range, almost 1.5 to 2 octaves. So obviously we have to use a different technique to sing when compared to speaking, right? We cannot keep going into higher notes using our speaking voice. Then it will sound like sa re ga ma pa da ni sa re ga. My God, it's so much of strain. I feel a lot of pain here, and also it does not sound very pleasant, right? So instead what we do is we use something called the head voice, especially when we go into the higher notes. So the head voice creates a different kind of a resonance, a different kind of a tone, and it helps us relieve the stress over here. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa re ga, ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. That sounded much better, right? So I have created a separate video on how to find your head voice, right? So please look up that video and get an understanding of the concept and start getting comfortable with your head voice so that you can more comfortably explore your entire vocal range. The next thing you have to do is understand your natural voice really well. What type of voice do you have? What are the strengths in your voice? What are the weaknesses? What are the things you need to work on? So do a self-assessment of your own voice. Some students come and tell me that, ma'am, I absolutely don't like my voice. They say that they don't like listening to their own voice. Now, if you are not comfortable with your own voice, how will you improve it, right? So first, learn to accept the voice that you have been gifted with. Every voice is naturally beautiful. Okay, I believe that there is no such thing as a bad voice or ugly voice or anything like that. Every voice is naturally beautiful and unique. So you have to find that uniqueness in your voice and build on that, work on that, and build from strength to strength. So first of all, please get very comfortable with your voice. Now, on the other hand, you also need to have the maturity to accept your weaknesses. You know, a lot of students today are not ready to hear any negative feedback. People want to hear only good things, right? So if a teacher wants to convey any negative feedback or any area of improvement, they need to sugarcoat it so much that even the negative feedback sounds really positive. Now that is not going to help anyone, and it's definitely not going to help the student, right? You need to be able to hear the direct, real feedback, and the more directly you face your weaknesses, the faster you will be able to overcome it. You know, when I was a child, my teacher was absolutely ruthless. She would never hesitate to give me the real feedback. So if it was good, she will say good. If it was terrible, she will say terrible, right? She would not mince words. And I'm extremely grateful to her for that, right? So you should also try and develop more mental strength to accept the real feedback. And if you're not ready to hear it, then your teacher also will not give you the complete feedback. Teachers also understand that, okay, this student is getting easily disappointed, so let's not give the complete feedback. Let's just make it very diplomatic, you know. So teachers are also compassionate human beings. So, but if you tell your teacher that, ma'am, just tell me what you really think, tell me your real feedback, then every teacher will be happy to take you on that path to progress. Okay, so please try and be more sportive about it and face your weaknesses head on. And trust me, that is the fastest way that you can overcome it. And lastly, we talk about a very important aspect called daily warm-ups. Every singer should have a daily warm-up routine, right? You need to have a clear schedule of how you are going to warm up your voice. Just like how the body needs daily exercise to stay healthy, similarly, the voice also needs daily exercise. So please make warm-ups a very important part of your daily practice. Now, what kind of exercises do you do in this warm-up routine? Now, your warm-up routine has to be very balanced. Okay, so I would typically divide it into 4 types of exercises. The first type is called relaxation exercises, you know, which basically physically relax your vocal apparatus, right from the lips to the jaw to the throat, the neck, and so on. Then secondly, we have breathing exercises, which kind of regulate your breathing patterns and help you in breath control when you're singing. And then we have swara-based exercises, where we use the 7 swaras, sa, ri, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. And using this, we create a lot of interesting patterns that will gradually open up your voice. And finally, we do vowel-based exercises, your akara, ikara, ukara, okara, and all of that. Okay, so there are a lot of interesting exercises that you can do in order to culture and cultivate your voice into a very smooth, clear, and open-throated voice. And if you're looking for a good place to learn all these different types of exercises, please download the VoxGuru app. I have created 2 courses specifically for this. So one is called Universal Voice Culture, where we learn a wide variety of exercises which are very good relaxation warm-ups. So on a daily basis, you can do these exercises and really feel very comfortable in this entire region. So when you start singing, you will not face any tension or any strain. And the second course is called Carnatic Voice Culture. So here we focus more on the swara-based warm-up exercises, and we also focus on akara, ikara, ukara, and all of that. So these are some amazing set of exercises, and once you learn these exercises, right, it becomes a permanent warm-up routine for you. So you don't have to keep going around looking for new exercises every few months, right? Once you learn these exercises, it sets a very good template for you to warm up for the rest of your life. And in fact, after a point, you will also get inspired to create your own exercises based on these concepts. So please explore both these courses. It is very useful for each and every singer, no matter what background you may be from. So I will be eagerly waiting to hear your experience. Take care and enjoy practicing.